Welcome to Mike Nierychlo online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. So, if you notice a few changes, walls are sheeted. We're going for that old kind of barn plywood look. The antique door has made a reappearance. You may remember it from the garage, always behind me off camera. It's sealing off our cellar room, our temperature controlled cellar room, or really thick styrofoam wrapped cellar room, keeping the temperature moderate in there. Things are plunking away here in the wine coop. Pretty stoked for our progress. Today's episode, we're talking a small family run winery out of Oliver, British Columbia. This is River Stone Winery. River Stone Winery, you may remember, we're on the show, episode 144. We stopped by River Stone, hung out with Ted and Lorraine Kane, the proprietors of River Stone Winery. Great couple, super nice setting, very picturesque, quaint, small family-run operation. That's what gets me excited about them. They're a small family-run operation, a couple of very passionate, very genuine people who are just genuinely and truly excited about the wine world. Not to mention they're growing some fruit in some pretty epic spots to be growing fruit in British Columbia. So they've just released their second set of vintages, and I'm super excited to taste them with you. So let's start out with their 2011 Pinot Gris. Now this goes for 20 bucks, pretty average price for Pinot Gris in BC. Now Pinot Gris, I've mentioned it to you in the past. It's one of the signature grapes here in British Columbia as a white wine. A lot of people are growing Pinot Gris, you see it everywhere. There's a lot of really good examples of BC Pinot Gris coming out of kind of every pocket of BC. It grows well in the southern BC and grows well in northern BC. Well, I should say northern BC, northern Okanagan, put it that way, up in the Kelowna area, all the way down to the Soyuz area. Really interesting grape variety. I like what it shows off here. Usually makes a pretty standard, approachable wine. Let's try this one out. Hey, on the nose. Here's something interesting. Here's something really interesting. This has all its fruit character, fruit flavor. I get pear meets pineapple, hints of green apple. What I find really interesting on the nose is it's got a really neat green aroma. And when I say green, I mean almost green grassy, almost like a Sauvignon Blanc nose, which I find really interesting. Now, what I'm going to kind of point that to, or what I figure is causing that in this wine, is the underbrush in Oliver is made up of mostly, seriously, mostly sage. You'll never see anywhere else really that has this much sage concentrated in the undergrowth than here in BC. It's really neat. So it adds a really interesting green character to the wine and shows off our terroir, to be honest. Nice nose. Pinot Gris from River Stone. It's a very nice Pinot Gris. It's well balanced. Got a really nice tart, crisp, refreshing acidity. Same flavors come through on the palate. Get a little bit more of that apple pineapple on the palate. Again, a little bit of those nice green notes on the finish. Kind of a tart, lemon, sagey finish. I like that. Nice wine, approachable wine. I'm going to call this is a good all-around kind of everyday white wine. It'll pair with all different numbers of things. Your white fishes, your chickens, your cheeses. It's a nice white wine. I like it. Good all-around white wine. So that's what I'm calling that one. It's a good wine from River Stone. So far I've been quite impressed with what they're coming out with. Second one I want to try for you today. This is their 2010 Cab Franc. Make sure my glass is empty here. 2010 Cab Franc. I was really impressed with their Cab Franc last time. I've chosen to show you guys these two wines today as well because Cab Franc and Pinot Gris are both varieties that do extremely well here in British Columbia, especially in the Okanagan. What I like, what I find unique about Cab Franc here in BC, and I've heard a few people say this, there's a lot of areas of the world that have signature grape varieties. Australia's got Shiraz. Argentina's got Malbec. There's signatures all over the world. Cab Franc doesn't really have a home yet. The northern part of France in the Loire Valley, they make Cab Franc. It's an area called Chinon. Make really nice Cab Francs there. It's a completely different style of Cab Franc though. It's much more bright berry fruit flavors. Whereas Cab Franc from BC offers something very different. It offers very rich flavors. Tends to have a bit of a greenness to it as well. Super curious to see how this one goes. But who knows, Cab Franc could be the signature grape of British Columbia. It does really well here. It makes for a really nice component in our Bordeaux blends or our Meritage blends as well. Here we go. Okay, on the nose of this one. Signature BC Cab Franc nose. It's got rich, kind of robust black cherry meets black currant. Subtle hints of a nice kind of fresh cracked pepper. Almost a freshly ground coffee bean or something like that. Here's where the signature Cab Franc comes in. It's got a greenness to it as well. Greenness, not an off greenness. It's a greenness that's like kind of fresh radishes. Fresh radishes, a little bit of sage notes in there. Something along those lines. Nice nose. $26 for this Cab Franc. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's got nice body to it. It's a big wine. Like I said, it reflects those big, bold, rich cherry, currant flavors. It's got a nice kind of balanced tannin meets acidity meets fruit. This wine's going to age extremely well. I remember last year, I think I said the same thing about their previous vintage. They're making good Cab Franc, good prime example of BC Cab Franc out of River Stone. On my rating system, I'm going to call this a great BC Cab Franc. I like it. $26, it's well worth their money. Yeah, stop by River Stone, check out their Cab Franc. They're making nice wine there. Ted and Lorraine, thanks so much for contributing to the BC wine world. Your wines are doing well. I enjoy them. I want to get some of this Cab Franc to lie down, see what it does in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be a very interesting wine. It's going to age nicely because it's got that balance between fruit and tannin. It's got a nice crisp, flavorful tannin on the finish. Yeah, I like it. Good wine. Awesome. That's today's show. Thank you everybody out there so much for watching. Wine depretentiousized in the wine coop. We'll see all of you on the next episode.